Hello and welcome once again on this Monday afternoon. Thank you for joining me. My name's Simon Williamson and I'm here from the AVAGO-INK Designs brand here in the HTCN studio. So thank you for joining me. I can see quite a few of you logged in already. So we've got Elizabeth out there, hi, Vicky, Selma, Bill Bags. Thanks for joining me. It does mean a lot. There's people there watching the show. It helps me as well. If you've got any questions as we go through, feel free to ask any. And as always, if you want to like and subscribe, please do so. You'll get notifications on the upcoming news that you need to know. So that's really good. So just starting off the show with some news first of all. So I'm not going to be in studio next Monday, but quite excitingly, I'll be on Creating Craft. So there'll be a Monday show, the 28th at 3 o'clock on Creating Craft. So please join me. There's going to be some fabulous products on there and some bundles. So you may, know what I mean, it's a good opportunity for you to watch me. Support the brand and get some inspiration with some stamps that you may already own. So hopefully you can join me. So that's Creating Craft on the 28th of June at 3 o'clock. Right, so let's get on with our first demonstration. There's some more people logging on now. Hi Joe, hi Jill. So our first card today, it's a bit of a different one, this one. I've come up with this colouring book theme card. And I've done this as it's kind of a gift card really. So quite a chunky one. Really easy to make. I'm going to show you how to make that. And you can see on there, we've got a nice front cover. And as we open it up, we've got a set of colouring crayons in there and some colouring sheets for the kids to do. So you could give this as a lovely gift to someone to do. Let's get started. I'll show you how to make this. It looks complicated, but I promise you it's not that complicated. First of all, I started off by making myself a square blank card. I've used 300 GSM for this, so it's got a little bit more rigidity to it. And that's just simple square cards. I'm going to put that to one side. And then we need to make the pencil elements of the card. And the way I've done this is I've cut some strips. These are 1.5 inch, I believe, across, and they're the length that you need. I'm simply going to use some pinking shears, which you could also cut by hand if you wanted to. And we're just going to cut up that to make it a bit zigzaggy. And I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue onto the tip of these colour strips. Just glue that across them too. Give that time to grab. Just get my scissors. So I know what you're saying, it don't look anything like a pencil. But watch what happens when we make these two cuts. If I cut from here, and then the opposite way. Ah, that's a really good pencil. Do the same with the red one. There we go. That's a really fast way of making a bright and colourful pencil. And now we're going to just lay these up on the front of our card blank. Now to save time, I have made some pencils ahead of time, so I'm sure you didn't want to make me a full packet here. And I'm just going to add a few more little details to these plain ones by just simply running a Copic marker in 3 straight lines down the centre. And just give it a little bit of a darker base. And on this yellow one, I'm just going to do one on the outer edge. And the base. And this will come apparent later. I'm just going to use that for our sentiments. I'm just going to put that towards the top. We don't need that for now. What we are going to do is start putting our actual pens onto our backing card. Got some blues, some reds, and some yellows. Let's start off with the blue one. So you could use tape runner or glue, whichever you prefer, but I'm just going to use glue for this, I think. And we're going to start this first one off. And the best thing about this, if it does go a bit wobbly, it just looks more like a pack of crayons, doesn't it? Put the red one in. How are we all doing today anyway? Nice that this weather's improving, isn't it, again? Especially on this black card as well, this really pops, I think. This would be good for like a back to school card, wouldn't it, really? Go back to the blue one. This is when I get a bit OCD if I go out of colour order, so I'm just making sure I concentrate for this bit. A yellow one. You could also do this in like tonal colours. You could do them all purple or pink if you preferred. And then a green one on the end. And how vibrant does that look if I hold that up for you? Straight away, we've got a really nice background card with a pack of pencils on there, really bright and colourful. And it really pops on that black cardstock. That's the front of his card done. So now the inside, what I've done already ahead of time is already cut like a matten layer in a paper that I want to use. So I'm going to put this in first. I'm going to use the tape runner for this just for a little bit of speed. Oh, don't worry, Irene, you're not late. If you wanted to rewatch it, though, it is available, isn't it, on the catch-up, so that's up to you if you want to. I'm just putting that on the back of my card. Give it an instant pop of colour. And then for the actual, like the pocket that we're going to put the colouring book sheets in, all I've done is cut a bit of black card and I've already mounted it with some paper, and then I've put some double-sided tape around the edge. It's going to create a nice sealed pocket when in there. The reason I've wrapped the paper over as well is so that it doesn't like pull away when you're putting things in and out. It gives it a bit more stability. So let's get this backing tape off. See how good I am at this, because I forgot my pokey tool. Here we go. Nearly there. So Jill says she loves cards with pencils. I once made one with a pack of really small pencils. And it is, isn't it? It's really good for back to school. It's a bit quirky as well. I'm just going to stick this pocket towards the bottom half of this backing. Make sure that's got a good push down so that tape adheres. And we've got his little pocket there now, so that's perfect. And for the actual crayon holder, all I've done, sometimes we overcomplicate things. I've cut one strip of black card that goes this way, and I've cut one that's this way. And then by doing that, when I put the crayons in, it will just neatly wrap up and become a holder, and it sticks onto the front. I'm just going to use this double-sided tape to secure that backing in place. I bet you didn't think you were going to see a pencil card today, did you? No. Around. Give that a good push. And then I'm going to put a bit of double-sided tape on the back of that to adhere it to the card. I'm going to leave the crayons in so it gives us like a hard surface to push with. And if you prefer wet glue, you could always do that and let it set. But just for speed, I'm going to use double-sided tape. Get this backing off. Oh, it always happens to me, this. They'll teach me for not bringing the pokey tool. That's one bit off. Hey dear. There we go. So I can position this where I want it. I'm going to go for this lower corner, mainly because it's a bit weighty. I don't want it to make the card topple over. If you keep the weight towards the bottom, stick that on. And there we've got his actual card blank ready to decorate. We've got those little pencils on the front. I'll stand it up for you. And then you've got your pocket ready in there, and you've got your crayons in the little holder, and they can be removed and put back in when you need to. So now we're going to actually create his colouring sheets and his front cover to his card. I'm just going to move these pencils away. Don't need these at the second. I'm going to bring in the stamping platform. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to choose 2 characters that I want to be on my card. So I think we're going to go for this little fella that sat down. And I think we'll have, there you go. I've got one coming on the edge and I've got one sat down there. I'm going to pick them up with the stamping platform. But I'm just going to do this in black so it's nice and crisp. And then it's going to create part of the fun with the colouring card, isn't it? Give them a good press down. I'm really happy with that. Move these stamps off the platform so we don't need them now. But what I have already done ahead of time is I've cut out some masking shapes that will cover over our little critters that we've just done. I'm going to stick them into place. And they are a bit tired, these. They're normally a little bit stickier. Just stick that onto there, and then I've got my background stamp, so the really big background stamp that we get in the Dinosaur collection. We're going to overlay this onto our characters. So let's see. I think we'll have it about there. I'm just going to tuck his tail down. And I can put the magnets now where I know that there's area for him to go. Pick that stamp up. I'm going to give that a really good inking. Press that down, make sure we've got the detail. Very spring of this Eureka. I think it's got extra foam in. And then we'll just lift that up. So a little bit more just needs to press onto there. Just move our little fella over there. There we go, we'll lift that up. And if we take these little masks away now, you can see we've managed to get our characters within the scenery. Let's move that one away. If I hold that up, it's a really good way of using your background stamps, and you can incorporate your little characters in. So there's one sat on the hill and there's one just coming into the shop. It's a really good way of making some scenery. Really good way as well for preparing it for kids, so they've got a pre-finished topper just to colour in. So that's that one. And then I'm going to go in now with a slightly smaller piece of card. I'm going to make the front cover. So using the same method, I'm just going to use it with a different character. So I'm going to put our big dinosaur on there. I'll move this out of the way. Pick that one up. So Roxy Lee says, I missed a bit at the beginning when it's time on Create and Craft. So it's on Monday the 28th at 3 o'clock. I will put some more reminders on the Facebook page, but Spread the word. I'm going on telly. There we go. And the same as before, I'm going to mask our dinosaur friend. And I'm going to use the trees to mask where I want this to go. So I'm going to have that going right over our dinosaur. Pick that up. Give that a really good ink in again. And then we're going to make sure that's all that detail's pressed down nice and firmly. Are we happy with that? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just move that out of the way. That was a bit stickier than the other one. You can see, once again, we've got another lovely scene of our dinosaur walking through the woods. Really simple technique, easy to use, and you can have loads of fun with this because you can change the scene every time. That's okay, Irene. I think it's available on Catch Up now, the Create and Craft shows. Elizabeth says, will I still speak to you when I'm famous? I'll always speak to you, love, don't you worry. I'll put that to one side. And then do you remember the little pencil that we made earlier? I'm going to use this now for sentiment. So I'm just going to hold that down with a magnet. Lift this big stamp out of the way. And I've got Have a Rawsome Birthday from the Dinosaur collection. I'm going to put that in the centre of the pencil. That's why I didn't put that other Copic line through. So we've got a nice crisp area to print. And this is textured cardstock, so it might take a few ink inks to get it really clear, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm just going to do that a little bit more to get that texture to go a bit darker. There you go, I'm happy with that. Let's put that to there. I'm going to move the stamping platform out of the way, and then we're going to start assembling our card. So for the inside part, we've just made our big scenery, and ahead of time, I also made a few others there, so you can see got a few different variations on colouring pages. We can pop those into the pocket we made at the top. They're fitting nicely. And then I'm just going to open this up so it's a bit flatter for me. I've got a tape runner for his main image. I'm just going to use a little bit in the middle so that whoever gets this card could take this off if they wanted to and use it as another colouring sheet. And I've got some 3D foam for the yellow pencil. I'll have that pointing up onto that colouring sheet. It's easily removed if you want to use it as another colouring one. And there we go. That's our finished dinosaur colouring card. Really bright, colourful, pops out, but it also is a lovely gift to give someone. It don't really take a lot to make. I think the only cost it really cost me is that little pack of pencils, which I believe was I think they're about 50p from a local craft shop, and then all those colouring sheets and pencils are inside. So that's our first demonstration. Hope you like that one. Yeah, Roxanne, I think the Create and Craft catch-up is being put back on, hasn't it? It did disappear for a while, but it's nice to know that inspiration is there for all the shows that you see across the brands that we do here, like Stamps by Me, Thirsty Brush, Imala, and myself. So if you ever need it, it is available now. I'm glad you're liking this. Everybody's saying it's nice. That's brilliant. So we're going to watch a quick demonstration now of some samples from the Dino collection while I set up for the next demo. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, so I'll see you soon. And welcome back. I can see by the comments you like that last card, so that's nice to know. It's a bit quirky, isn't it? And I've gone to follow a different demonstration out, a really simple card that's going to use one of our stencils from the Dino collection. This is the like the hill one, but I'm only using a section. I'm doing this in the rainbow inks. It's going to be a really good way of doing a rainbow blend. And then we're going to emboss the sentiment. It's a really crisp kind of card and an easy one that you could do with your stash if you haven't got this stencil. I'm going to show you how to do this one now, so I'll move that to one side. I have got a small piece of card that I've already trimmed to size. And then this is the stencil we're going to be using. You can see it's the hill one. I only want to use a portion of it going down the side, so I'm just going to quickly get some masking tape. It says ripping straight through it. Let me just get another piece. Ooh. Change to different roll. There we go. And I always put it on my arm first just to get rid of the stickiness so it doesn't rip your cardstock. I'm going to put a line just down the centre of our card. Do that a little bit of a press down. And a stencil. I'm going to choose which area I want. So you can see it's got straighter edges this way that goes to the wavy. I'm going to move it a little bit further back so we get a little bit more pattern to it, really. I want to pop that over there. I'm going to tape that onto this glass mat so it doesn't move. Create ourselves a nice barrier. I'll put a bit down here as well, just because it's a delicate stencil, I don't want to rip it when we're blending. There we go. And then I've got some of these really cute little AVAGO-INK inks. These are the pigment ones. And the little diddy ones, look, and I've got all the rainbow colours ready. There you go. I'm going to start with the red and we're going to work his way down the rainbow. So let's start at the top. Just pick some of that up. And because this stencil kind of goes down in strips, I'm not going to rub it in circles. I'm just going to just tease it down from the top. And then that way we've got no way of distorting his image and ruining his card. We need to look after his craft stuff as well, don't we? We spend all this money on it. That's his red. And I'm going to go into the orange. So I'm just going to overlap the red slightly and then drag the orange down. I love these little pads though. It's a good way of getting a range of colours without investing in the full-size ones. Put the lids back on. Don't want Tony to tell me off. Get some yellow. Now just be careful with the yellow because it is the lightest colour, so I always go up to it rather than overlap, and then you're not going to get a dirty mess where it goes over. Look how vibrant that yellow is though, it's lovely. It also helps you look at your stencil in a different way, doesn't it? Let's get some green on there. And then dragging that down the same. And swap to our blue. And the lovely little inks, these are really blowing well, I've got to say. And we'll finish off with our purpley colour. I'm just going to do this one upwards, seeing them at the bottom of the stencil. There we go. I'm going to move them inks to one side just for a second. Let's have a grand reveal. We'll take all this off. Let's move this out of the way so I don't get ink on the project. Let's pull this strip down. Ooh, just have to hold it there a second. There you go. Look how vibrant that is. I'm just going to quickly wipe my hands because I've got ink and I don't want to ruin our clear card that side. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little blast just to make sure it's actually dried. That's good. Bring up our stamping platform. Put the magnets at the top and the bottom there. And I brought one of the, I think it's one of Tony's older range, it's Beautiful stencil. I'm going to use that as the sentiment to go down this side. I'll put that just there. Pick that up. That's fine. And before I fit, I'm just going to rub this with the anti-static bag. I'm also going to rub over this area so it doesn't pick up any embossing powder in a second. And then because I want the sentiment to be rainbow coloured, I'm going to just use some of these ink pads. We're going to have a bit of red at the top. I'll miss the orange just so we've got enough space in there. Bit of yellow. A little bit of green. Moving down to a bit of blue. And then purple on that very end there. Just move that up there so you can see a bit better. Give that a good push down. And don't forget, you can always go back in if it doesn't stamp fully. Okay, so now I'm looking at this. I want to go in a little bit darker with the green. So I'm just going to go over the green area, which is about there. Just that little bit more. I'm really happy with that now. Let's take that out of our stamping platform. Move on to the top. And just get a piece of paper. I'm going to put this embossing powder now on top of that. And this is clear embossing powder. So it brings out all them rainbow colours we've just done. Sprinkle, make sure that's well covered. Give that a tap off. That's perfect. I'm going to pour this back in the pot so we don't miss any. Put the lid on. You know what I'm like, I'll be knocking it everywhere. And I'm going to emboss this now. I'll just move that mat out of the way and then I'm able to hold this better. And it'll just make that colour become richer. There we go. Let's give that a bit of a straighten out. You can see that it's just nice having that kind of like shine to the sentiment. It really picks up, and you could mount this card both ways, to be honest with you. So let's bring in, let me bring in my card blank. I brought some black, but I just want to kind of give it a very fine border. So what I'm going to do for this, I'm just going to use a tape runner again. I'm doing well here, I've not smudged it yet. Let's pop that on there. A nice fine black border all the way around. Use that to press down. And I've got my little paper trimmer. I can just match that border up now on the other side. I really do like this little paper trimmer. It's got like a metal wire that tells you where it's going to cut before you do it. Move it out of the way. Let's get some tape run on the back of this. Oh, it's like faulty towers, isn't it, with me sometimes? It always runs out. So I did the other one like in an upright position, but you could actually do it that way, I think. Let's do it that way for a change. Let's pop that onto our card blank. And I'm just going to turn that over to push it down so I don't ruin it with any ink on my hands. And then I found in my stash some like little love heart gems. And I just think putting one above the eye really finishes that card off. I just move my little ink pads out of the way and I can stand that up for you. Look at that. Really simple card, really easy to ink through a stencil, and it really just makes that bold sentiment stand out. And when you do it stood up or sideways, you've got two kind of quick and easy cards that I'm sure you've got stencils in your collection you could repeat that technique with. So I'm glad you enjoy this. Anyway, I'm just looking at your comments. It says it's going to rain somewhere, so don't send it this way, please. So anyway, so thanks for watching today. Please, if you can join me on Create and Craft, that'd be really good to see some support on there. That's Monday the 28th of June at 3 o'clock. I'll be nervous, but we'll get through it. And it might give you some more inspiration for the stamps and dies that you've already got from the Dinosaur collection. I'll just grab that other card I made earlier. There's the two cards that were made today. Put them there for you. And I will see you in a fortnight back here in the studio. But other than that, I will see you on Create and Craft if you can join me on the 28th of June at 3 o'clock. So thank you very much. Thanks for all your lovely comments. And I will see you again soon. See you later. Bye-bye.